Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SparkleDart. You know, U.S. President Richard Nixon was a very, I'd like to call him lovable, but I guess that wouldn't really be the correct word. You know, I thought he was a very nice man. He was a very loud man, for lack of any better adjectives. And he kind of had his own thing that he liked to do. He was like a maverick type guy. And he really let the common man know that it was possible for him to become president at some point in the future. Now, pardon me, burps every episode. Maybe that sounds rude, and maybe you think I'm rude for saying that, but you also have to think maybe I'm right. I don't know. It's just Nixon opened up relations with China, and he had a dog named Checkers. But all in all, he was a very nice, thoughtful man. He didn't like Kennedy. Now, even though I like Kennedy, I would say that Kennedy was probably a better president than he was, because Kennedy was trying to do important things for the country, and Nixon was more just concerned with being loud, I guess. Well, I've died, and that's what's happened. I never did claim to be good at video games, so please leave those comments. That's what I'm most interested to read, is SparkleDart. I started watching your show a little while ago, and I've come to find out that you're not very good at video games. What's up with that, buddy? And I'm like, pal, listen, I don't really care to hear your remarks on this sort of thing, because I grew up in an era before video games were even a thing. Now, let me tell you, we had something called Pong and Pac-Man and Princess Panic, and we mostly just had games that started with the letter P. Now, if you can't think of any good games that start with the letter P, then you're probably not old enough. If you can't think of any good games that start with the letter P, then you're probably a redneck. Then you might be a redneck. Now, JeffFoxworthy.com, go check it out. Blue Collar Comedy Tour, it's very funny. A lot of good points being made. Here's your sign, potato salad, and redneck words like asinine. Now, I'd give that tree a 6 and the asinine was the joke that Jeff Foxworthy used to make. I think I might be close. If I'm not close, then I don't really care. Don't correct me, because like I said, I don't care. It's not important to me to know these sorts of things. I just don't. It's not important, Like I was saying earlier, stand-up comedy is something that, a lot of people hold in high regard. Now listen, stand-up comedy is not something that's easy to do, and I get that. It makes a lot of sense to me. Please. Oh, God. No, go back, please. Go back. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing. I appear to be winning, but that's entirely conjecture. Oh, no. Oh, God, no. I like to put on the best show that I possibly can, and when shit like this starts happening, it's like... Well, I've done it again. Oh, wait, I still have a life. Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, that one I'm not going to take sitting down. That's some horseshit. That is ridiculous. I can't believe that Oh boy. So, social media, huh? You got a Facebook? Of course you do. You're a bunch of fucking nerds. You like to talk to each other on Facebook, Twitter, go tweet.com. You know all about that, and I don't know anything about that. It's like, SparkleDart not using Twitter, you're not using Facebook. What's wrong with you? What's up with that? I don't know. If you go on my Facebook, I do have a Facebook page, and I do have a Twitter page, and if you look at either one of those, there's nothing on there, and you'll know why that is because I burp every episode. That's why. People think I'm gross. People don't listen to me. People think that I'm a disgusting freak for saying these things that I say, and I'm like, I'm only as disgusting as you yourself perceive yourself to be. I'm okay. The higher opinion you have of yourself, the more disgusting that you'll think I am, and I think that's a very fair comparison to draw, because honestly, you know what? People who think highly of themselves tend to be the most arrogant and unlikable people in the first place. I know a guy like that. I was his roommate for like a year or 2 years or 3 years or however long it was. I was his roommate, and he didn't He was very rude. He was a very rude boy. And I'm like, you know, you don't have to be a rude boy all the time. You don't have to do that. Will it just work if I just keep doing that? Because I'm going to try it. That was frightening. Looks like a watermelon man. Hey, watermelon man. Don't! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh. Have you ever been so frustrated with something that you just wanted to, like, scream? Like the movie Scream? Or Scarface or whatever? Where you're just like... Yeah. So, this will be probably the most quiet episode of SparkleDart that I do. And you'll understand why. You'll see why. So he's going to do lightnings. I can't even avoid that. What's up with that? That's ridiculous. Anyways, I'm going to call this episode the Game Over episode, and you'll find out why once you start watching it, because it's going to be nothing but game overs, and that's, you know, I feel bad about doing a show like that, but you know what? You chose to watch it, so what can I really say? This is kind of on you, pal. This is kind of on you, buddy. You're the one who made that decision. It was kind of a bad decision on your part, and I'm going to stop blaming you. I'm going to get super defensive about my own shortcomings and start blaming you, the viewer. Now, is that wrong of me? Yes, of course it's wrong of me, because, you know, it's not really your fault. It's not your fault for being, like... You're such a nice person for checking out my stupid-ass rants and stuff. Honestly, nobody in real life wants to listen to the asinine, ridiculous things that I have to say. And because of that, I feel, like, so lonely all the time. So it's just, you know, it's really nice of you to want to placate me in this time of need that I have. Because not a lot of people ever, you know, nobody wants to put up with that guy. That guy who refuses to listen to anybody else's opinion, but still insists upon weighing in his own opinion. And that I'm that guy is, like, a little bit too much for people to handle, because that's just not something that anyone's ever prepared to deal with. Because, you know, it's like... So I believe there's a pattern to what he's doing. Right, so... Please don't. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, like I said, the quiet episode. I hope it's your favorite one, because it's probably not going to be the last one that I do. Okay, no. No, this show is about being real. This show is about being real and sharing my real experiences with you, the viewer, and holding those experiences near and dear. And just kind of being okay with the way that things are, the way that events unfold. I don't even think it's possible, to be honest. I don't think it's possible to do this. But I'm not giving up, because I'm a nice guy. So, we have this oven, a stove actually. Well, it's both the oven and the stove. And the heating elements in the oven don't work, and the heating elements on the stove are full of crap. So whenever I turn them on, they start to smoke and like smoke up my apartment. And then there's like smoke all over the place. But then I realized something. I realized that there's no smoke detector in the living room. And I found that out because I was afraid about setting it off, only to find out that there's not one there. And it's like, okay, well, I guess I can't be too upset about it, but I'm a little concerned now. It's like, why isn't there a smoke detector in the living room? And then they told me that there used to be one there, but that they had to get rid of it because the guy who lived in the apartment before smoked all the time, and he would like to leave his lit cigarettes on the carpet. And I'm like, you know, that explains a lot about the black singes on the carpet and the walls and the furniture. Like, why would you put out your cigarette on the carpet or the wall? Why would you do that? That's ridiculous. you have to get your security deposit back, and if you do stuff like that, then there's not a very good chance that you're going to get any money back. And because of that, it's like, well, I would like to get my money back, but I can't do that because it's like at this point there's so many things wrong with the apartment, and I've been living here for so long. Oh please, oh please. Oh, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Okay. I'm just going to take a breather here for a minute. So, our oven that we have, it's very good. We cooked the Thanksgiving turkey in there, and we put stuffing in its butt, and we put like crayons and markers in its butt, and then we took those out because we realized that it was disgusting and it wasn't going to make the meal taste any better. But, oh, that's adorable. The bird has a snorkel. We realized it wasn't going to make the meal taste any better, even though it's hilarious. And then some of the wax and dye got in there, and then it was like, okay, well, at this point we kind of have to just accept it because we can't find another butterball turkey at this time of day on Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving. Well, I guess you could call it Thanksgiving Eve. I don't know what maybe some people call it something different. I don't know exactly what, but if that's the case, then I guess you're just going to have to call it whatever you want to, because we all have our own denominations for things like that. Like some people call Christmas Xmas. Some people call Easter. They call it Feaster because they don't experience the religion that I experience, but they also like to experience the meal and the family togetherness. And at that point, it's like, well, what do we call it? Instead, we'll call it Feaster because we're eating on Easter, and it's a similar name, but it's not the same thing. Now, like Christmas, if you've ever watched the Seinfeld, they call it Festivus, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. They celebrate that, but since the Costanzas are a bunch of Jews, not to say that that's like bad or nothing, but they are, I believe. I don't remember exactly if that was true in the show, but I know Seinfeld himself was Jewish, so maybe they all were Jews. I don't know exactly if that's true or not. But anyways, yes, it's kind of like that. So anyways, thank you for standing by, kind of placating my dumbness here, and just being okay with how big of a failure I am or whatever. Just, have fun with it. Come back soon. I hope you do, because, I like having you around. You're a nice guy. You're a nice fella. So please, come back and visit again soon. Goodbye. Mwah.